Hello everyone, Sunny here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a very simple and straightforward, easy wither rose farm for your Bedrock Edition worlds. This thing is extremely cheap, easy to throw together, and I think it'll produce just enough wither roses for like 90% of the people who end up watching this video. As you can see, it is absolutely tiny. It is the most basic thing in the world, but it works quite well actually. We're simply going to be upgrading a wither killer that uses an in-city gateway so that we kill a bunch of chickens very quickly, and every single one of those chickens will drop you a wither rose. So from about a double chest or so of eggs, you will get about 2 stacks of wither roses. It doesn't sound like that much, but it's actually pretty decent because eggs are very easy to get your hands on. So in case you're not aware, wither roses only drop from mobs that are killed by the wither boss. So as you can see, we have a wither right there. If we summon in this chicken, he's going to go ahead and kill that wither, and as you can see, that dropped a wither rose. These things are honestly a pretty cool little flower because they deal the wither effect to any mob that touches them. So you can use these in mob farms, traps, evil contraptions, pranks, and all kinds of different really interesting things. They're honestly quite the fun item, and sometimes you might just want to get a whole bunch of these for nefarious reasons. I never really noticed this before, but the wither roses also give off little particles when they're planted down, which is also really cool. So as you can see, we can summon some mobs in there and they will all take damage from the wither roses. All of these chickens now have the wither effect, as you can tell from the particles, and they will die fairly quickly. So it's pretty decent in a lot of different mob farms, along with just dealing damage to the player in general. So let's quickly go ahead and take a little look at this wither rose farm, shall we? So up above here, we just have a standard in-city gateway that we would typically be using for a wither killer, and down below we're just going to be adding a little bit of redstone to that simply for the actual wither rose farm itself. So as you can see, we're going to be summoning in a whole bunch of chickens by dispensing eggs. So you will need an egg farm for this, but like, egg farms are the simplest thing in the world. It's not even worth mentioning. So once we have a whole bunch of chickens in here summoned from the eggs, simply go ahead and throw a poison potion at them. That'll get them all down to, you know, half a heart, and then whenever the wither is summoned in, it's going to kill every single one of those chickens, and their drops will be collected in the chest right here. So we can go ahead and summon in a wither on that little pedestal right there. He's going to be trapped inside of the in-city gateway, and as soon as it gets to full health, it's going to explode and kill all of these chickens, as you can see right there. Absolutely beautiful, and as you can see, we got quite a few wither roses from that as well. So for every single chicken that you have inside of the kill chamber, you will get 1 wither rose. So you can go ahead and just dump hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of eggs into this farm for so many wither roses. A full double chest of eggs will get you approximately 2 stacks of wither roses, so plan accordingly. So of course, we still have this wither in the top part of the farm, but that is perfectly fine because this guy is going to be suffocating and dying in the bedrock. So he's just going to automatically die and give you a wither star after like a couple of minutes. It doesn't really take that long. It's not that big of a deal. It is a little bit dramatic because he's shooting skulls everywhere and blowing up stuff. It's also very, very, very rare for the wither to ever break this part of the farm down here. I do have a little bit of a blast shield made out of obsidian, but really it's not that necessary as the wither rarely shoots skulls directly downwards. So you don't really need to worry about rebuilding the redstone. And as you saw there, the wither died just fine, and there is our nether star. So this thing works perfectly, nothing to worry about. So what I'm showing you guys today is a very, very, very simple wither rose farm, but I do have prototypes and concepts and ideas for a more advanced one that can run for hours on end and that doesn't kill the wither. So if you guys want to see a more advanced wither rose farm, let me know in the poll up above and I can prioritize making this video. Today's tutorial is heavily based on my previous tutorial on the in-city gateway wither killer. If you're going to build today's farm, or if you want to try this in your world, you need to watch my tutorial on how to use an in-city gateway to automatically kill a wither. And this tutorial is simply an upgrade to that wither killer. So again, if you're going to be watching this video, you also need to watch the wither killer one. Link to the automatic wither killer is absolutely everywhere, so please go watch that video before you learn how to build this farm. Did you watch the wither killer video yet? No? Well, you kind of need to go watch that. Otherwise, you're not going to know how to get an empty in-city gateway, and you're not going to know how the withers work. So go watch that video. Jeez. Or I guess finish watching this tutorial, then go watch. Either way, you got to go watch that video, okay? Jeez. Anyway, so here we have a basic in-city gateway that's ready to be turned into a wither killer. If we grab out ourselves a, soul sand and some wither skulls, you can see that when we summon this guy in there, he's going to be stuck in there. He will automatically suffocate and die. It is nothing too special and nothing terribly interesting. These have been in the game for absolutely ages. But what is interesting and new is what we're going to be putting underneath this, which is a very small 5 tall redstone system, which will be killing all of your chickens and turning them into wither roses. So of course, before we get building, there's going to be a materials list for this farm down in the description of the video. If you want to know every single block that you need to build this wither rose farm, check the description for your convenience. So of course we're going to be starting off with a basic wither killer, as I've said like 30 times in this video already, and the pedestal to summon the wither on is going to be to the west side, as you can see by pulling out a locator map. So we're going to be going down underneath the in-city gateway by 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and this is going to be your floor level right here. We're just going to build up a little floor, nothing too special, just something big enough to stand on while we're building the rest of the farm. As you can see, you're going to have a 5 block gap in between your floor and that bottom piece of bedrock. So now we can go ahead and remove all of those blocks except that one right there. So now we need to go down underneath this platform and remove the middle block just to place an observer facing upwards right there in the center of that platform. We can now go ahead and remove that block, and we're going to place a piston right there with a lever on it, and there is the pedestal for orientation's sake. So now if we go ahead and flick that lever, that'll extend the piston, of course, and you want another observer facing downwards into that one. You can then retract that piston. We want 3 pieces of obsidian to those sides right there, 2 pieces of redstone dust. Now go ahead and get yourself a couple of droppers. You want 2 droppers facing upwards on the left right there, and 2 droppers facing upwards on the right as well. And then finally, you want 1 dispenser facing towards the middle. You should be right underneath the very bottom piece of bedrock at this point. And you want another dispenser facing inwards as well. These are going to be the 2 dispensers that summon all of your chickens while using the eggs. So now go ahead and fill in this back wall using obsidian like so. Fill in a couple pieces right there. Now that we have all that built up, grab yourself a couple of chests, and you want a double chest right there, hopper right above it facing downwards, and that is where all of your chickens are going to stand right there on that block. So now just go ahead and encase that entire thing in obsidian, and we can even put some more obsidian up here as well, just to try and protect all of the redstone that we have down below. Finally, you want 1 hopper there on the left side and 1 hopper there on the right side as well. Place a chest above both of those, and that's going to make it so that you can dispense a ton of eggs very, very quickly as soon as you flick that lever. So the majority of the farm is completely built up now. What we can do as a little bit of an optional accessory is install a blast shield made out of obsidian right here at this layer. So just extend this by 3 blocks in every direction and a little bit of a circle going around the in-city gateway. Again, this is an optional thing to do, however, it will help protect you as you're down there using the farm and while the wither is dying in the in-city gateway, and it will also help protect a little bit of the redstone while the farm is in use as well. So as you can see, just put a little bit of a circle of obsidian going all the way around that in-city gateway, and this obsidian will get broken. So make sure that you replace it after every wither. So the final thing that you need to build before we can start using this farm is an egg farm. So I would recommend going all the way down to the bottom of the in-city island that you built your wither killer on, and then simply put a whole ton of chickens on top of a singular hopper and just point that into a chest. And these guys will poop out eggs all the time, giving you a ton of eggs that you can then turn into wither roses. Chicken and egg farms are seriously the easiest thing in the game, so go ahead and plop down 1 or 2 of those and you will be good to go. I would highly recommend that you make it on the same end island as your wither killer, just deep underground. That way, as you're using this farm and building it and rebuilding it and fixing it, or just killing withers in general, the chickens will be pooping out eggs. That way you can make even more wither roses. And as a bonus to having the egg farm on the same island as your wither killer, you don't need to transport eggs from the overworld to your wither rose farm. They're already here, you just need to put them into the system. And now we can finally go ahead and demonstrate this Wither Rose farm. So we're gonna go ahead and just put in a ton of eggs into this system, churn on the farm. This is gonna start dispensing all the eggs into our little kill chamber in there. As you can see, we got a couple small chickens. Stay in there. So yeah, once you're happy with the amount of eggs that have been dispensed, just go ahead and throw a splash potion of poison at them. It doesn't matter what kind of splash potion of poison, even the weakest one will do. These are baby chickens that we're talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing run and dispense every single one of these eggs, and then we can summon ourselves a Wither. So once you've dispensed all the eggs that you want, we can simply go ahead and turn off the farm, get rid of the clicking noises, and throw any kind of splash potion of poison at those chickens. That'll deal a ton of damage to all of them and get them all down to half a heart. So now that we have all of them down to half a heart from the poison, we can go ahead and just summon in a Wither up there, and as soon as that guy, you know, summons in, all of these guys will die and drop ourselves some Wither Roses. So we can see that happen real quick, and bam, he's summoned in, all those chickens died, and as you can see, we got a stack and 37 of these Wither Roses. It's honestly extremely easy to build, extremely safe. Well, maybe not extremely safe, but it's extremely easy to build, extremely simple, and hopefully this gives you guys all the Wither Roses that you can possibly need in your Bedrock Edition worlds. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about this Wither Rose farm, please do let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always trying to help you guys out as best as I possibly can, but otherwise, thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I do hope that you have enjoyed. If you did, of course, leave a like as it helps out the video and the channel significantly. Possibly consider sharing the video around so that others can enjoy it as well. And if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this in the future, then of course make sure to subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you all down in that comment section and in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And then there was silence.